I just got the front clip painted. That turned out really nice. I can't say enough good things about 415 paint. It's $67 a quart, but it lays really thick and really glossy, so it almost looks like you sprayed it, which is pretty convenient for not having to tape anything off or have the air compressor, HVLP, or fucking anything. It looks really nice just doing it, brushing it on. So yeah, I'll take you guys into that and kind of show you that all finished up. And then I wrapped the hot side, considering I'm running a fucking baby radiator and a hood. It's probably gonna go a little warmer in there. I finished the hot side, I finished welding the downpipe. And her car, I got a bunch of stuff for her car. I'll be kind of unveiling what we're gonna do with that here pretty shortly, probably the next couple of videos. And then we're gonna get started on this cold side. So yeah, let's do it. Guys, so here's the front clip. Your tube front end turned out really glossy. I'm super stoked with it. It's not perfect, but it looks pretty nice for what it is. This is what the hot side looks like, all wrapped up. That's my first time wrapping shit. It turned out pretty nice, but it was a pain in the ass initially. I didn't really understand the easiest way to do it. I ended up figuring out to kind of wrap it loosely all the way around and then kind of start over and tighten it up. And those zip ties they give you are kind of fucking ghetto. They don't really tighten up very well, so hopefully it doesn't come apart, but if it does, I'm definitely gonna switch zip ties. So this is a turbo. First, I want to put a quick clamp. These are PKY, like quick release clamps. You can find them on Amazon for like, I mean, they're still expensive. They're still like 40 bucks or something. I'm sure like Vibrant or something like that, it's probably more expensive, but I've seen these go over 30 pounds of boost, so with zero problems. So I'm sure they'll work just fine. I've used them on a couple other builds and they work just fine. So yeah, these are 3.5, and then I have a 4x3.5 reducer. This is going to get welded onto the throttle body. This one will go to the piping. This one I'm going to put on here. And then this one, okay, this is another thing I want to talk to you guys about. I've done this two ways. I've put reducers on these, and I thought that was kind of fucking stupid, but that's just what I ended up doing. This one, I ran and grabbed a hole saw, and we're gonna hole saw 3.5 and just take these right out. I don't know why they would make the cooler 4 inches and not the outlet 4 inches, but that's just on. It ain't worth it. It looks alright. So yeah, we'll move on to the intercooler. Alright guys, there's a hole. I'm gonna file this out quick, clean that up, and then before I do anything else, I want to vacuum all that shit out of there. Not that I'd be really worried about fucking my engine eating it, because it would probably eat it just fine, but ideally try to get all of it out. So yeah, I'll do that and get it fit up and burn it on. Alright guys, there you have it. Now I got about an 1/8 inch gap top and bottom, rather than a quarter or 5/16. I just took enough out to be able to kind of slide it in there, and then the clamp has more than enough room, but just got to make sure that weld doesn't get overly outrageous. So that'll do it, and then that way I can just easily pull it off. I just much rather have the fucking quick release clamps on there. It looks a lot better, it's a lot faster. So fucking around with rubber boots and fucking screws and all that bullshit. So yeah, I'm gonna do that on this side and then do the same thing on the other side, and it should be good to put in. Obviously this is just preliminary shit while that paint dries on the tube front end, and then I'll be able to put the assemble everything back together. I'll probably RTV everything and go through everything and tighten it, because it probably will be final assembly. for the car. So, because all the intercooler stuff is going to get done while it's fully put together and done. So. Okay, it didn't turn out how I wanted them to, but I don't know, this batch of flanges are kind of dirty. Like, I've never had to clean the flanges before, but apparently these ones got fucking oil or something in them. You can hear them when you're welding them. It's not happy, so they don't look nearly as nice as I wanted them to, but they ain't gonna leak. I mean, it's not terrible, but yeah, there's that. Here we are with the throttle body. Don't forget to take off your TPS and idle air, high AC. There is little O-rings in there, so you don't want to cook that. I'm going to take this reducer and shorten it as short as possible just to try to keep this length down. And then, yeah, we'll burn this clamp onto there. Then, yeah, like I said, we'll shorten this. Burn that onto there, and then we'll shorten that. Both sides will be short, so it'll be like just the transition piece, really. And that'll be enough to get an elbow on it. I mean, like I was saying before, this is just preliminary. All these joints can be done without it on the car. So the paint is still drying, so that shit takes forever to fucking dry. And I mean, I got the heat cranked in here. It's like fucking 65 degrees, and it has been. So yeah, we will get all this shit tacked up and burnt out. And here we are, this is our little reducer piece here. I'll get it cleaned up, and then that'll be, what we got here. This little yeah, I mean, our fitting will be after that, but you guys kind of get where I'm going here. I'll get this fit up and weld it out. Alright, here's what we got for that. It's all done. That one turned out really nice. This one, it kind of like wanted to lay out more. I think it's because there obviously isn't as much metal there to take all that heat in, so it kind of flattens out. So yeah, we'll let this paint dry some more, and then we'll get this bolted up and get everything back on the car, and then finally start on the piping. Got her all buttoned up here, kind of temporarily stuck together. I didn't really RTV anything or get it fully set, but this is kind of what we're looking at here. There should be enough room for the radiator fan. That wastegate's going to be tight down there, which I knew it was going to be. I'll have to make sure that fits, or I'll shorten it. And then, yeah, we're going to get started on this cold side, which is going to be a bit of a treat. I left myself a little box here. Yeah, I'm hoping we're going to be able to make it work. Maybe might have to use some pie cuts, but we'll see what we can do with the full bends. I figured I'd just show you guys quick on this chop saw here. There's a degree back there. So pretty much, okay, here's the line. You guys can kind of see the center line here. I got it set. It's kind of hard to see right now, but so here's 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So what I'm doing here is I just split in between 5 and 10. which, I mean, ideally is 7.5. It'll be more than close enough for what we got going on here. My like quick way of doing them is just sliding it in there, and then I kind of, you could measure up here to half a tube or whatever, and then make a mark, and then make your cut, and then swing that mark around to the other side. And same difference here. I'm just eyeing it up, you know, like, okay, I just made that cut, right? So then I make that mark. I eye it up kind of on the hole where the cutting wheel is gonna go, like so it's the same distance here, and then I'll flip that line around halfway up to the other side, right? Because then if I got a 7.5 cut here and then I put another 7.5 cut, that's gonna be 15 degrees. So I mean, ideally it's gonna be 6 15-degree little pie cuts are gonna be a 90, right? I mean, obviously I'm trying to keep this short side of the pie cut as tight as possible. I mean, within reason to weld it. So yeah, that's typically how I do these. So the other ones I had cut were 7.5 on one side, and then I'd rotate it 180 degrees to put the short side on the inside, and then do another 7.5, which would equal 15 degrees. Then I switched it to these at 15 on one cut, and then spin it, and then 15 on the other, which would be 30 degrees. And this will give us, now you guys can kind of see the difference in radius there. I mean, they're kind of just half-assed sitting there. They're a pain in the ass to try to get to stay. But yeah, you guys can see the difference. I mean, you're cutting the radius of the 180 degree bend in half, so. This is what we got here. Probably just spin it up that way. God, that's tight. Yeah, so that's what we're kind of forced to do here, and then we're gonna start with just one pie cut on a flange, or on whatever, yeah, flange on the turbo on that side, and then kind of work our way down and see what works the best. So. I think I might just do another 180 and see what we gotta do. Alright, so I made another 180. I just started to kind of curve this away from the bottom, and then that kind of gets us to here, and then I'll start swinging this around here like this. I'll kind of come this way into this one. So I'll probably just rotate this. Instead of keeping to go 180, we'll just start to rotate it 90 degrees off, so it kind of curves in and around by the intercooler. Got it somewhat where I want it here. What the radius is, kind of, I wish I could have done them even shorter yet with the radius here, but it just doesn't happen. So wanted the turbo in the grill, and this is just part of it, so it's not that bad really. But I think I'm gonna try to get this one facing. So the best thing we can do is try to get the faces square with each other, right? So I'm gonna just like get this one. Up like that, and then I'd like to okay, so try to start out facing the opposite. Oh shit. My bad. I just fucking tossed you guys on the floor. get it close. Just eye up here what I got. So on the back side, on the side. So we got 4 3/8. We're at 3 3/4. Let's turn it this way. Kind of tall also. Okay, so we got 4.5 there. 3 3/4. Just try to get it somewhat close. Four there and 4 here, so that's gonna be where it's the most square. That's what we got with the pipe in there. You guys can kind of see it's like a big S, so I don't like how tight it is here. I mean, I can get a finger in there, which I'm really not worried about it. Once the clamps go on, I'm going to be able to move it towards there's a decent amount of play in those clamps, so I'm not too worried about it. Mostly the reason it ended up that way was because if I would have put another pie cut in here starting to send the radius towards the intercooler, it would have added length here. Really, it was the main issue. And I didn't really want to go over 30 degree because then they start to get pretty ridiculous bend on them. But it turned out alright. I'm really not too worried about that. I mean, not only is the exhaust wrap, this is a hot side of the cold side piping anyways, so it's gonna be hot. Go ahead and weld that last clamp on to this 90, and then get that taped up, make a straight cut on there, and we'll be heading up there, probably throw 45 on it maybe, and crank her in front of the radiator and then up to the throttle body. Alright, change of plans here, boys. I ran it almost level, or at least match this bar here, instead of kind of going up at an angle to hit this way. I figured if I wanted anything like a peak reservoir or fucking anything, I can mount it in here if I wanted it. So I might as well leave that spot empty if I needed it for anything. So I shortened that bottom 90 here. Now I'm just gonna take this at a 45 straight up, and then it'll be just enough room for the radiator fan to fit in here. So yeah, I'll get this marked up and then go tack her up, and we will get up by the throttle body. Leave this off and loose until we get that. I'll probably do 330 degree to get out of here, and then to 90 back down, just because it's so tight. I want to leave this room here for that fan. I don't have it yet, but just to try to give us some more space. And then, yeah, we'll probably cut this off wherever our 90 comes out, and then make that work. But first we'll get these pipe cuts done up and then throw it on the throttle body. Let's get it. We got the 90 made up here. I think I want it to run straight level or level with the car, just because the way the hood is gonna have to get cut. I kind of want it to look straight and normal. So I think I'm gonna tack this on or tape it, one of the two, straight down, and then we'll kind of just do what we got to do to get our pipe from down here to the bottom of our little 90 here. And we got our 90 taped on there. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna line it up. Like I said, I wish I had a nice long piece of pipe because I just cut it off at the 45 and then put just a full length in there. But for what we're doing on my car, it'll be alright. So yeah, I'm gonna set this in here. I'm gonna clock it where I want it. Get really close. Down here. I'm gonna mark right here. That's how I'm gonna end up tacking it. Yeah, I mean, we can kind of just measure it out there, measure a little miter piece there, and then we'll get it out of that, and yeah, we should be good. I'm gonna find a tape measure here. So yeah, I'll just kind of eye it up. It needs to go. Let's say the shortest side is probably going to be three and 3/8. We'll start, and then the long side is going to be 3. I'll just say 4. 3 3/8, and then 4 on the long side, and we'll kind of just cut it like that. Alright, let's see if we can keep this guy. Which it's probably just going to keep falling. I just really don't want to put on the clamp. Here's our little miter cut here. Both of them are they both kind of have angles on them, but we'll, I think we'll tack it on this guy first, and then we'll kind of move the other one in place. I just want to get this puppy marked out real quick. We got that piece in there. Last but not least, I just set that little piece in here for the blow-off valve. I know a lot of people like them as close as possible to the throttle body. Me personally, I really don't think it fucking matters. I'll probably just set mine right here just because, I don't know, it's the most logical spot. It keeps it out of the way of everything. I don't want it up by the throttle body. I like it just clean and smooth up there. So yeah, all I'm going to do is mark my hole, and then with the Sharpie, and then I'm literally just going to pull the whole pipe out, and I'll just punch the hole and I'll fit it while it's out of the car, and that'll be my blow off. So I mean, other than that, guys, that's it for the cold side on this deal. Obviously, like I said, I probably got 4 or 5 hours of welding to do on it, but everything came out pretty nice. Whatever misalignment comes out from welding it, the clamps will probably take care of. I mean, I usually fit them really tight, so I don't have to worry about the misalignment after welding. Usually they stay really close. Here's that crazy piece again. I'll be able to pull that out and get that all burnt out. So yeah, and then we are on to the transmission, and I'll have a little reveal for some stuff we're going to do with her car here on the next video, but I'm going to get this cold side video thrown together for you guys hopefully next couple days, and I'll get all this shit welded out this weekend. And yeah, if you guys have any questions or comments, please like, subscribe, and I will get you guys that update on that thing. We're gonna be doing some cool shit with that thing, so stay posted. I will get back to you guys here shortly. Thanks, appreciate it.